Okay, guys, we are live. For those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master today. Today, we're carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing during the current quarantine, AD&D Second Edition, playing through the 2013 adventure Legacy of the Crystal Shard. And with me today are the stars of the Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign, the Quarantine Crusaders themselves. I'll go through the order. I've got you guys on the screen here. Tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what level are you currently. So first up, I've got Hobbs.
What the? I'm first?
You're first.
No man, no myth, no legend, just Hobbs.
That's right.
Keeping you on your toes.
Me. It's not fair. Hey, everyone. I am Jason Hobbs, and I am playing Store. Professional soldier, amateur gambler, and all-around instigator. Shoot first, ask questions later of the 4th level.
Yeah, we definitely saw that in action yesterday. And a big welcome to everyone who's joining us from Mr. Hobbs' Gamerhood as well, too. Welcome. Next up is John.
Hey everyone, I am John, and I am currently playing, but not for sure how long, Falcarol Hawkfriend. He is the 4th level ranger, 4th level cleric of Solinar, and he is currently in a dungeon being tortured.
Yeah. Next up is Mo.
Hi, I'm Morris. I'm playing Thomas Branner, who is currently a 5th level fighter from the south, and is now finding him in the position of having to sort out a jailbreak.
Yes. Mo, you are just a scooch quiet. If you're able to turn your volume level up just a bit, that'd be terrific. Next up is Arlen.
That's
perfect.
Number 2.
Yep, that's perfect. Arlen.
Hi, I'm playing Gorwin, who is a 2nd level elven fighter academic.
Nice. Yes, a custom kit. And last but not least is Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I'm playing Lex Wiltshire, a 4th level ranger of Myliki, who came to the north to leave behind a world of loss and has just stumbled into more problems.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So guys, we had an eventful session last time.
Yeah, we did.
So what happened yesterday or last session?
I think this should be Falcarol's
Yeah.
to go.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, we got escorted to the Dwarven, one of the Dwarven leaders, the one that has black ice armor and shield, and we were taking Cola to...
The Beric Hammerstone.
Yeah, Beric Hammerstone.
You got to say it like that though.
Beric
Hammerstone.
Beric. At least he's not riding a goat. We're taking Cola to see his mother and try to talk some sense into Beric, but things did not go well. They're being super paranoid, and we found out there's this woman from Luskin that's whispering in his ear, we think driving him quite mad. A fight broke out. Cola went down. We were vastly outnumbered by Dwarven Phalanx fighters. We were calling for a retreat, and Falcarol got nabbed.
Can you explain that last part though? After we called for a retreat and how Falcarol got nabbed, I didn't hear the details.
Yeah, well, lots of dwarves, attacks of opportunities, and he went down.
I think
I think there's still more. I think so. What happened is we were pulling back to the south. Store did some crazy thing with like grappling rules and a shield, and somehow got out from 7 people. Gorwin and Lex did a little strategic retreat. Thomas tried to save Paldranor and pulled back as well. And did we lose John?
No, John's
yeah. He can't be gone for this. and Falcarol went north. Like he went around the side of the room and went north to hunt the witch down or the woman down.
To my I did that before we retreated, like the one round beforehand.
So
we may want to go to the tape on that one.
Pretty sure we were calling for a retreat, and Falcarol went the opposite direction. Somehow got like too far north, attacked by some crossbows that
weren't on the map.
That were hidden.
Yeah.
And when he was trying to get away, made a grappling check and almost got through, and then got taken down by the last couple.
It did make for a really great moment when Barrack Hammerstone called out for archers. Falcon was like, "What? Archers?" Okay. So yes,
he almost escaped. He almost got through. He did manage to get through the last guy, but someone managed to get a hit on him as he was breaking free.
So half of our, or I mean, the majority of our party did affect their escape. Kola was taken into, and Kola Hammerstone is, of course, played by Andrew, and he's just not able to make it today. He's got his own game at home, but Kola has been captured by his uncle, Barrack Hammerstone, and is in the care of his seemingly very sick and maybe something wrong with her mother. He was made a very... I don't know, not enticing necessarily, but there is a fairly important decision he's going to have to make, and he'll be making that off-screen. And we'll see the consequences of that in the rest of the campaign. Falcarel, however, where Kola woke up in his childhood bed, Falcarel had a less welcoming, place that he woke up in. So Falcarel, last time we saw him, he was in a dwarven dungeon being tortured for information about how he is a assassin and a spy from 10 Towns.
Yeah, they don't like to listen.
Yeah, Falco, I don't know why you did that. I don't know why you chose to be a spy for 10 Towns. I advised against taking that kit, but, what are you going to do?
I'm not even from here.
Let's see here. The other thing that happened at the end, too, is that you did hear a third. There's a Paldronor, your ally from the other side of the Dwarven Valley. He was with you in the prison because he was captured as well. But you did hear someone else in there as well. A voice of someone who's calling himself Adric. For the rest of the party, you guys sort of made a break for the oldest, like the deepest and oldest sections of the mine, or not the deepest, oldest, I guess. The oldest is probably the surface. But the deepest to try and get back to those caverns underneath. But after realizing that Paldronor was the one who was carrying the map of Dumathoin, or the map from the Temple of Dumathoin, you guys have no idea how to get back underneath the valley without doing trial and error. So you guys decided to... we've been picking up 2 days later now, with you guys having been like spying and trying to like pick up... some information of like where your allies are and what you might do next. Where do we leave things with that, guys, with your plans? Remember anything about that?
Yeah, there was a merchant that Lex had discovered while he was trying to gather information in the marketplace, who seems to be a sympathizer, or he's at least not a Hammerstone sympathizer, and he refused to put or transport the black ice, and his business has been suffering because of it. So he might be open to discussion. I believe his name.
Yeah, his name Von Ben Rubii.
Von Ben, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's pick up with the bulk of the party. You guys in your hidey hole. Let's talk. We don't need to do this in character necessarily, but let's talk about what you guys are planning on doing next here. You find yourself in a bit of a pickle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If only we had the black pearl. Good.
Well, we did discuss potentially finding a back way into the catacombs. But then we pointed out any such maps would probably be back the other side of the valley in that temple we cleared out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the obvious thing we have to discuss is the jailbreak. Or, alternatively, we could just leave them.
You don't, I mean... Not to encourage you to leave a PC behind, but you definitely don't know whether he's alive or dead. They haven't made a public execution of him. At any point, you haven't seen or heard that over the last couple of days, and it seems likely that that's what would have happened if they were. I mean, and again, like we were, the tone of the city or this side of the Dwarven Valley, the tone of the community, it isn't such a, like, everyone is on board with this whole black ice thing and everyone's corrupt and everyone's, bent their will. You can see, Hammerstone's troops that are kind of out and about, but otherwise this is mostly like the dwarves of the Dwarven Valley mostly rely on kind of a militia system. They don't have necessarily just a bunch of warrior casts because they don't really have a lot to do then. It's a mining community. This is a working community. There definitely are warriors in their number, but it's not like they've got a substantial standing army, and whatever standing army there was, probably a good chunk of that went over with Stokely, with the Silverstreams. So you're seeing barracks guys out, but otherwise it's people who are sort of like, look, this black ice is making us rich. There's other people who are kind of not interested in it, and there's people who are not happy with Barrack Hammerstone being in charge, but it's not so much that they would want to leave or want to take up arms or anything like that. The people who genuinely feel like he's betrayed the Dane, they're likely on the other side of the valley already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we talk to Von Bin, our big picture goals, I thought, were to get the dwarves as allies, which would include getting rid of the black ice problem and the necromancer.
Yeah.
So if we haven't really talked about it as a group, but it would make sense that we look at ways to still figure out how to solve the black ice problem. And if Von Bin was one of the merchants who decided not to transport it, he might have an idea of where it's coming from or who's in charge of that, and we could at least try and investigate that further. And who knows, if we discover that Falkril and Cole are alive along the way, then we can adjust plans as we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was considering. I mean, ever since we got done with this game yesterday, it's all I've done is think about this game. That 8 hours of other games that I ran in that period. And
I'm assuming you were workshopping plans with your players in those groups, right? So, okay, guys, this is what happened in my other game. Let's talk.
What would you guys do?
Yeah.
I really don't know what to do, guys. So, what I think that's accurate. The thing that we need to really think about is what our goals were and how we could still possibly accomplish them.
Mm-hmm. And we need supplies. Like we need some kind of healing. So since we don't have a cleric, we need a way to buy some potions or do something in barter for some potions so that we can continue to function as a group without dying.
So of the 4 members who are sort of in hiding right now, none of you guys have the healing proficiency, right?
No.
No? Okay. No. Do any of you have any healing potions left?
I gave my last one to Store.
Okay.
I'm
I
out.
think we burned them all. I think Selving, Powdrenor, and Alehead.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, from the poisons.
Oh, the poison.
One thing that struck me is if there is a public execution, that would be obvious point to stage a rescue.
Cool.
But if there's sufficient notice, we could maybe round up some sympathizers.
Well, I think that's what we have to do, regardless if there's a public execution or not. We have to get.
Yeah, but
we need allies.
If they're brought out in public rather than 5 levels down in a dungeon, they're going to be easier to get at. But yeah, I think talking to the merchant is the first order of business, because he may have contacts on the other side still.
What do we have for resources? I'm only carrying like 87 gold.
I'm pretty much out because I spent it all on armor and stuff.
Right. That's fair.
Well, we've got all our sort of traveling goods and stuff on Alehead.
We'll sell some of Silverstream's that famous ale.
Somewhere on a golf course, Jeff gets a cool chill run down his spine.
The Silverstream loyal people on this side of the valley are like starving for some of his famous ale, so we'll sell it in the black market for like 300 gold per barrel, and or exchange it for some healing potions.
So one of the challenges that you guys pointed out last time as well is that ever since this whatever's going on between the two dwarven clans, it doesn't seem like there's an awful lot of non-dwarves in the region.
Yeah. And we're
Time
not
for some
exactly...
polymorph potion.
Oh, Store's got a potion left. Nice. So Store's pretty banged up. Lex is pretty banged up. Tom is pretty banged up. What are you guys thinking? Are you going to make use of that, or are you going to save it for when things get really bad?
We might need that to bring someone up if we get into a scuffle.
Yeah, let's hold on to it for now, and then...
Unless it's really, really necessary.
Yeah, unless we can get a few extras.
Okay.
maybe you should take it, since you're the one who is going under the most dangerous stuff when you're out trying to gather people. What do you think, Arlen? You've been awful quiet.
I have been role playing because Gorwin is pretty shaken. If you remember way back when Helga Silverstream was going to be taken by the guards, Gorwin actually did not attack the guards intentionally. He drew his sword, but he held back. So it's pretty shaking for him to have gotten into that fight with the Dwarven guards here, because they're like, that's like killing goblins is okay, but dwarves are like people, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Gorwin's gonna follow Store and do his best to keep, everything straight and all that sort of stuff, but he doesn't have a lot of ideas.
He's also, that fits in, like, mechanically, Gorwin takes a penalty in the first round of combat as he's trying to kind of like get himself situated and figure out what he's going to be doing.
Yep.
Yeah, so like that's completely bang on. You get
awesome.
I did not realize that's what was going on. So you get 100 points of XP for that. That's really, really good, because I'll forget about it by the end of the session.
As an academic, because he's sitting there trying to calculate,
Yeah.
what we can do is coming over that idea, but he's not going to talk until
Yeah.
we figured it out already.
Okay.
Come on.
So then, what are you guys planning on doing? Lex has got a rough idea of a relatively safe path for you guys to get through, but I mean, we've got two big brawny humans who it'll be difficult to pass you off as a dwarf. The elves, as long as they sort of hunch down and don't radiate their elvenness, then they should be. Well, only one of you. Gorwin is a full-on elf, right? And then Lex is a half-elf.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Gorwin is really the only one that's you got to worry about the sort of majesty of the elves spoiling your disguise. How do you guys think you want to do that? And I guess, where do you want to go first? Like, what are you? Do you want to go for supplies? Do you want to try and contact Von Bin? Do you want to try and get more information? What do you guys want to do?
I think we should contact Von Bin, and if he doesn't have the supplies we need, he might know someone who does. Or maybe he can procure them for us, and we can trade. Maybe we can trade some of the ale on Alehead, or even Alehead himself.
Hold on, Hobbs. You're...
Sorry, I was trying to fix my mic.
All of that transmitted through your mic. So what were you saying, Dave?
I think Lex thinks we should go and talk to Von Bin, and if he is at least sympathetic to finding a bigger solution for the dwarves, maybe he'd be willing to help us. And if he doesn't have what we need, maybe he can procure it for us in trade for some ale. Or would you guys want to get rid of Alehead if we need to? Like, we unload all the ale.
I think the beer might be useful. The other thing is, he's probably got a good sense for local information.
Yeah,
because we're outsiders coming in, so
Alehead is
Von Bin. Well, yeah, we could do the Alehead. Oh, Paul Fulker has fallen down the well.
So, what are you guys doing then? Are we starting our?
Go after Von Bin
with the merchant, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's do this. Let's see here. It sounds like it's going to be Lex. You're going to try and pick up information, or are you guys actually be speaking to dwarves and trying to get? I guess that's the big question: is whether you're going to be actually contacting trying to talk to anyone to get information. That's where the risk will come. I'm not concerned about you sneaking around necessarily, because you guys are seasoned adventurers.
I think I would try to avoid talking to the dwarves and try to pick up more information about Von Bin, and see if we can piece together where his shop is or where he does business.
Sure.
Failing that, we'd have to talk to somebody then. But.
Okay. So then, next one, let's do this. Let's, what is your move sound? Hide in shadows? It's not great, right?
43, so
43.
half of that.
Half that, okay. Okay. So you're not, unfortunately, this is, like, hiding in a dwarven community, it is a little more challenging than, you know, trying to find hiding places in the wilds, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's say, since you're not interacting with people, it's really just going to be a matter of luck whether you overhear stuff. And then each of those days, you will also have a chance of your hidey hole being discovered.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do this.
We need to be a little lucky.
Yeah, so why don't you give us a D6 roll, a 1 or a 2, you pick up some useful information.
Nope.
You can Astonishing Fortune that if you like.
Because I only have a 20% chance per day of being hidden. What do you guys think?
Well, it's because you're just passively observing here. You kind of have to, you know, you have to luck out into it. If you're looking around, or you were like looking through shipping manifests or things like that, like that might be a more proactive way of doing that, and that might have a better chance. But it also comes with a risk of you being discovered doing that shit.
Right. But I've got a pretty good... What do you guys think? I have a pretty good chance of being discovered regardless of what we do. Do we want to just talk to somebody and see?
I think this is your gig, bro.
This is my gig. All right. So Lex leaves his bow behind, obviously.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm gonna be active then. I will go back to where I found the information. I overheard people talking about Von Vin.
Yeah. So it's another shop.
That's another shop.
Yeah. So you could. Here's your options here. I think, at least or you know, if you've got some other idea, I'm happy to consider that too. You could try and. Do you read Dwarven, or do you speak Dwarven?
It wasn't one of the languages that I had in my character, but.
But have you spent your half?
No, and I was trying to think of what I would put in there, but.
Yeah. Okay. So, because the manifest. Does anyone speak Dwarven in the party? Gorwin, Thomas.
So I have the proficiency for modern languages, so I don't think I could speak it, but I might be able to understand like the gist of something with a proficiency roll.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak it though, so I don't know how useful it would be.
Yeah. So
doesn't Valkyrie speak it?
Valkyrie is going to be helpful at the moment.
Yeah, Valkyrie does speak Dwarven, but he's otherwise occupied. Because I'm trying to think of, like, you could read the manifest, but the manifests are probably going to be in Dwarven as well.
Right.
Right. So I think Gorwin, if you get them back to Gorwin, if you're able to get some of that stuff back to Gorwin, there's a chance that something in there might be helpful.
So I got to pilfer some manifests.
Or you can talk to somebody. You know, you can talk to somebody and ask about that.
I'm going to trust my sneakiness and pilfer some manifests.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't trust my voice.
Okay, so then let's see here. First, Dave, would you give me a move silently? I think so you're at half your score, so you're at like a 21 or a 22 right now.
Oh, you want me to publicly roll that? That's
yep.
Like...
It doesn't mean you're spotted. It just means that they have a chance to hear you. So they definitely have a chance to hear you. So let's see here. So you make your way into the this is one of those things that's sort of carved out from the actual rock itself. It's a freestanding structure, but it seems to have been. It's one of those legacy buildings that was actually carved out of the mine wall from beforehand. It has doors in the front, doors in the back. There's a living quarters out back. There's an office that abuts onto that, and then there's the actual shop itself. And this place, it deals with, it's sort of like a general goods store. That's why you were there in the first place, was trying to grab some food and whatever. You tell me how you did plan on breaking into this place. Were you going in kind of like when people are up front, you try and sneak in the back, or go through a window, or?
Yeah, I was thinking more as like a marketplace shop type, but if it's a store, I'm not a thief.
You can go through the front and sort of like, what this will tell me, it'll give me an idea of what chance they have of spotting you.
Yeah.
What's your plan here?
I think I'm going to hide the bad and a little bit of good, and I will buy a couple items or something like that and drop a few coins down. But
okay.
While I'm looking around the store beforehand, I'll try and pilfer something.
Sure. Tell me how you're dressed right now.
Just cloak and hood up, and I'm hunched over, so it's hard to walk. But
I don't suppose you have a disguise proficiency, do you?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So you're sort of hunched over, doing your best. I think you are definitely drawing attention. I'm assuming that you're only really like letting people kind of see you freely when you actually walk into the shop. You sort of come out of the shadows and make your way into the shop. So you come in, and there's a couple of customers. We'll say there's 3 customers that are sort of milling around in here, and there's the proprietor and his wife who are working. Proprietor's talking to one of the customers, and you can tell it's a fun conversation that they seem to know each other, and it's quite animated. The wife is busy putting some stock on, and then the other 2 are just looking around. When you walk in, both the husband and wife seem to look over at you, and both of them get a bit of a expression on their face. And with the expression, you can tell, because you've seen this before, this is a Kev, roll a reaction to set what the starting encounter is. So let's see here.
Right.
You recognize that?
Yeah, and as Lex is going in, he might have to ad lib. He might have to change his plan because,
Okay. So what you see? What are you looking for right now? Like you've seen if you're observing the look of the layout of the place, you can see there's a door at the back of the store that seems to lead further back, which is, it may not surprise you to learn that dwarven architecture is fairly standardized. So, you know one shop, you know all the shops, kind of.
Yeah. So if he's going around and he's looking, and it's just product and stuff in the shop, and he doesn't see anything manifest wise or that looks like it's got dwarven writing on it.
So what you do see as you're walking, what I was actually looking for, Dave, is to see where your attention was focused. If you're focused on the goods in the store, you may miss what the proprietor and proprietress or the customers, how they're reacting to you.
Okay, no, he's got to pay attention to all of that stuff. So he's looking at people, So
the proprietor and proprietress are both sort of, they exchange looks with each other, and then there's kind of a eyebrow move that gets the wife to sort of set aside what they're working on, and she walks up towards you and says, "Oh, hello there. Good day, sir. Can I help you find anything here? Is there anything you're looking for in particular?"
And in this shop, I had gotten food from before.
This is the place you stole food from before, yes.
Yeah, so I know there's that there at least. So I will just go straight to what I know and just ask for that.
So it was probably meat stuffed rolls.
I was like, so meat stuffed rolls or something similar, and I'll just cough.
Yes, these. Have you had them before?
Nope. Just hungry.
All right.
He starts coughing.
Okay. Brings you over, kind of gives you a look and looks back. Anything else you need help finding, sir? Or perhaps help looking around?
No, sorry. Got a cold.
Oh, that's not good, sir. Perhaps if you'd wait at the front, we could bring things to you.
Okay.
What else do you need?
Skin of water.
Aye, we can get that for you as well.
Or actually, I'll say wine.
A wine. Oh, so I don't have the wine we have is quite because of the change in trade. It's quite pricey right now. We do have some lovely beer that's quite discounted.
From where?
Oh, from the cask Thunderhead from down the in this very valley.
Nothing from that Vorbin punk.
The dwarven punk. What do you mean, sir?
Vonbin, that punk.
Nothing from. Oh, do you know Von Bin?
I don't want to support him.
Oh, and all right, sir. She seems kind of put off. All right, I can assure you, it's not from Von Bin. Is it Von Bin Rubii you're thinking of?
Yeah, I heard he's a sympathizer with dwarves from the west.
Oh, sir. No, we don't. Those concerns are largely above ours, sir. But I can assure you, no, these are all from the Thunderheads are quite loyal to Beric Hammerstone, and it's quite good. Von Bin has not had nothing to do with that.
Good, thank you.
All right. Oh, anything else, sir?
No.
Okay. So she heads over and gets the supplies for you. She collects the money. You can take a look in the PHB. Whatever the cost is for those things is what it'll cost. And says, "There you are, sir. A good day to you."
Good day. All the best.
And she turns and heads right back to her husband, and they seem to be kind of gossiping. And the person that he was talking to, he seems to be gossiping with her, the friend that they seem to have.
Okay.
So you got your supplies. What's the next thing that happens?
So he'll try to work his way around back. Maybe out of a different shop now that he's seen the layout, and he'll have to try and get it to another shop, I guess.
Okay. So the thing is, that Von Bin deals here, so the chances of just finding like random receipts that happen to have Von Bin stuff, it's going to go back to that. Like it's sheer luck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just that it will be a matter of luck as opposed to a matter of skill.
Okay, but if Lex goes into a shop and he says the same kind of thing about Von Bin, and they're like, "Oh, but Von Bin's good," da 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 da, then I'll know that they'll have receipts in the back.
Put yourself in their position. How do you think they might react?
Yeah, actually, they're probably not going to react well to me, anyways.
Yeah, like if they think that because who would they think you're in with?
In with the Hammerstones.
Right.
So not going to say anything about Von Bin to protect him.
Precisely. Yeah. Like it's unlikely that even if these people did like Von Bin, it's probably unlikely that they would be defending him to someone who probably is in the employ of the Hammerstones.
Okay. Then I'm just going to have to go up and ask somebody where his shop is, because this is going to take way too long. And if I'm trusting on luck, I got a better chance of getting caught.
Sure. Sure, yeah. Let's so let me check to see how they're it'll be another what do you call it? Another what is your charisma modifier anyway, Lex?
Thankfully I'm not Druid. Reaction adjustment of +1.
Plus which?
+1.
+1, okay, not bad. No bad. Okay, so you walk up to another one of the merchants in the market. You're sort of like, why is this not? This first plan is not working. So you just wander up to a random merchant, and as you walk up, the merchant kind of rears back from you. Yes, sir.
I take a bite of the meat bun or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm chewing it, and I with my mouth full ask about Von Bin.
What do you say?
Can you tell me where Von Bin's shop is? I'm supposed to pick something up, and I've lost my directions.
Where Von Bin's shop?
Rubii.
Hold on, let's see if this guy actually knows him. Yeah, he does, okay. So, he says, he's a wholesaler, sir. Were you picking something up for someone else?
I'm supposed to do deliveries.
He looks you up and down and sees that the only thing in your hands are a couple of buns and a wineskin. Really?
Obviously drunk.
Yeah. Certainly, sir. And he scrabbles, down what, or or scrambles down what the address is for you, and then he stops and looks up at you and says, "Can you read Dwarven?"
I'm just a messenger. One of my other buddies is supposed to. He can read it. We're good. Blessings of Doomathoin to you.
Wait, he looks up at you. Do you want me to just give you directions, sir?
That would be great.
All right. So he gives you the directions. He goes over it twice, and you're definitely getting the attention of every merchant around here.
Okay.
It's the more you talk to these guys, the more that it definitely is getting some attention. Once you tell me about how you leave the merchant, do you head in the direction of where he told you to go, or do you head deeper in? Because he's probably closer to the nicer district.
I'll head in the direction he told me for about up till I'm out of sight, and then I'll duck back and go towards where our guys are.
Sounds good. Okay,
Maybe around a couple of stalls or around a street or two, because in case someone's watching.
Okay. So what I can tell you is there is as you guys take steps, it's going to be setting the threshold for a reaction higher each time. So the more things you do, the more things happen, the better chance there is of there being an armed response. And that's so you got some clear directions to get to Von Ben. He's actually in one of the wealthier sort of mansions in a nicer part of the community. You make your way back to the hidey hole where everyone is without much consequence or at least no one interfering with you. So when you walk in, what do you say?
Got the directions to Von Ben's place and bought some food. I tossed some rolls down and skin of wine.
Yeah, he's got some warm food for the first time in a little while. All right.
Good. I'm itching for action.
5 silvers, maybe. Plus.
So, how do you guys plan on getting to this neighborhood? Obviously, the from where you are to there is going to require some sneaking or trying to not draw attention. And if they know,
want to go.
Yeah, we'll leave Alehead here and let's spread out about 20 yards between us, and you lead the way.
Okay.
I'll run through the directions with the other guys a couple times just in case people get separated.
Okay.
Don't want you wandering through by yourselves.
All right. So again, the halls of this community are. Did I? Oh, I think I sent it in. What do you call it? In Discord. I didn't put it into the game. The look of the Dwarven community, but you can picture, the sweeping, massive ceilings, the pillars that support the big open, promenades that have been carved, centuries ago by now long dead dwarves. The closer you get to the that nicer neighborhood, the more that you can see. For one, you can see people are dressed a little nicer, more obvious display of like jewelry and gems and things like that. You guys are definitely attracting more and more attention as you get from the merchant district. Is not so bad, but moving your way through here as humans, or as a bunch of non-dwarves at least, you're definitely getting more attention. And in fact, one of you gets a particular amount of attention. To Mo. So, Tom, you're making your way along, and then you hear the voice of with a dwarven voice call out for you. I'm picturing, just for ease of reference, we'll have Lex up front, and you guys tell me this is wrong. Lex up front, then 20 yards behind him is Gorwyn, 20 yards behind him is Mo, or is Tom, and 20 yards behind him is Stor. So, Stor, you see this, and Gorwyn, you may give me a D6 roll, please. You got those keen elven ears, so. Okay. So you hear something from behind as well, too. So you turn around in time to see Tom, you're having 4 dwarven guards who seem to be, they're all equipped with some kind of black ice implement. Now, one thing that you guys have noticed as you're making your way through here, because I'm imagining that you're keeping your eyes peeled for any kind of, sign of Hammerstone's men. You're really not seeing a lot of them. Like, they're not, integrated into the community. They're not replacing Town Watch or things like that. Like, you haven't really seen a lot of them. But unfortunately, Tom, there's 4 of these guys who are coming up to you. 2 of them have black ice axes, or battle axes. 2 of them have black ice war hammers. And they walk up, still heavily armored as well, to you. Who are you here? What's your business? And another one of the dwarves says to Tom, or to one of the other dwarves, oh, I think he might be one of the ones that attacked, didn't he? He's wanted by the Thane, aren't ya? Does Hammerstone want to see you, big man? So what do you say, Tom? Oh, Mo, we lost your audio again.
Drink.
Drink, yeah. Ice King, have a drink. Mo, we can't hear you at all.
Is that the new thing? If your audio doesn't work, you got to take a sip.
Yeah.
Just Mo.
Just Mo.
Oh,
It's
just
Ice
Mo.
King. Started it. Okay. Oh, I think Mo just realized. Okay. So, Store and Gorwin, what are you guys doing when you see Tom approached by these 4 clearly like Hammerstone dwarves?
Are we in the middle of the market, or like
You're in
our
the nicer
situation?
neighborhood now. You're sort of making your way down. There are the walls outside of the various mansions along here too. So you're probably maybe about 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from where you're expected to be. It's just the people you've been passing have been, it's on, ram-driven carriages and actually probably not that ostentatious. It's just this is a nicer part of the Dwarven Valley. So,
Okay, am I back?
you're back, yes. So what do you say?
Alright, so are they talking to me in common or dwarvish?
Common.
I don't know anything about that, sirs. I'm just a caravan guard who's come up on one of the previous caravans.
What caravan would that be? Who's the merchant you're serving with?
Oh. Well, I never knew his name. His coin was good.
I don't think... And he looks at the other ones. I don't know if we can believe him. Let's see that sword. Don't draw it, just hand us the scabbard. So, Gorwin and Store, you can see this happening as well.
Store's just gonna move over and chop him.
Okay.
Do I see Store moving up behind?
You do, and you see him draw. I'm going to roll surprise, because the sound of your drawing your blade would... Nope, they're not surprised, so they can hear you. So we're going to drop into initiative then. So, hold on.
All right, so I'll be getting the scabbard out, but once I see Store, I'll then...
Yeah, hold on.
And then join in, I think.
So let's...
I think me trying to do a low, bad dwarven accent is not going to work. Right, initiative. Who?
Hold on, I just got to set a map up here.
I can do initiative. I'm not present, so give me something to do.
Yeah. Give us a sec here. Just going to set up a walkway here. Okay.
Love surprising the DM with attacks, right?
Yeah, well, got to keep me on my toes. Oh, you know what? Hold on, let me just copy this. I'll create a new one, and then just fill this up. Easy peasy. Let me turn off the... Oop, where'd it go? Dynamic lighting. There we go. Alright. Alright. The map may be a little fuzzy because I'm stretching it to its past the point where it's supposed to be, but it will still function. Okay, I'm gonna grab our heroes here. Where are our heroes? Okay. Whoop. Got Store. We got the rest of the party here. Okay. So Tom and then Store will be right up behind. There we go. Gorwin, you're 20 yards ahead, so that's 60 feet, about there. Lex, you're about there. If I got this wrong, you guys can readjust where your tokens are. Let me bring you over. Ooh, wrong one, come on. There we go. And let's see here. I need some dwarves. And Store, you've... What the hell's going on here? Okay. Hold on, I gotta hit to refresh here. Or reload, because it is... Roll 20 screwing up for me.
A very big map.
Yeah. No, let's do something new here where I can't... Do I have the right selection? I'm on the object and tokens layer. I can select the characters, but I can't move the tokens whatsoever. Hold on, I'm going to hit refresh on the whole roll 20 thing, so I'll just need to reorient where our tokens are here. This is all a new problem. All right, here we go. Let's see if that's fixed. There we go. Yep. Okay, there we go. All right.
I'm going to make a show of being clumsy, pulling out my scabbard, just to try and distract the dwarves.
Trying to distract. Okay. I don't think.
I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah, I think at this point it's a little too late. You just Store sort of made a beeline in and drew his weapon. It sounds like so. Let's get you guys queued up here.
Do I have to make some kind of a check to see if I notice what's going on?
I think you will.
Far ahead of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you're pretty far ahead, and there is a bit of a crowd as well. So, yeah,
I want to be obvious.
Yeah, like as soon as someone hits or someone like there is an attack that is blocked, you're gonna definitely hear this. So here we go. Yeah.
So to say, the first round I'm oblivious to what's going on.
Yeah. So just for now, you'll be oblivious. In the next round, you'll be able to start taking actions. These guys were all surrounding you. Okay. And Store, you've made your way up. Okay. So, and I think, actually, I'll put you right here. So you're within distance of getting to them within one round. It's just, they would have heard you draw your weapon. Okay, so then, John, would you please, let's see here, first round, beat my 10.
By a lot.
By a lot. Let's see here. Excellent. Nah, that's great. Okay, so then go ahead and put in what you guys are doing. My first action will be on a 17, I think, or 18. So I mean, well after all of you guys. And Store, you can assume your weapon is out now.
Well, I mean, I can draw it all at once. That's why I would
Yeah.
I wouldn't even draw it until I got there, since it wouldn't add. But whatever. So,
Right. Well, it's whether they're going to be like able to react, and the sound of your sword comes out. So, all right. So then, first up is Lex is still walking forward a little bit. You can assume you're moving at a casual pace.
Yeah.
The next up is Thomas. What are you doing?
I'm going to delay because I can see Store coming up.
Yep.
So effectively, I'm going to delay, and then when Store hits the guy next to me, I'm going to hit that one.
Okay. You hit the same one, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, So the thing is, when you move, you can draw your weapon as part of the attack, but a ready to action is something... Here's what you're going to do. You're going to delay. No, you're just going to delay your action. That's all you're going to do. You're not readying one.
So
readying is like...
out,
you're doing one thing.
To give it to them, and I'll just...
Right, but if you're drawing it and readying it, like... what I'm saying is that readying an action means if X, then Y, but it's got to be something that can be completed as a reaction. Drawing the weapon and then attacking with it is not something that is a reaction. But what you can do is just wait until he attacks, then take your action after him.
Okay.
We're getting to the same point, but I'm using it as an opportunity to point out something about the rules. That's why, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then it is Store.
All right. So Store strides up.
Yep.
Maybe between the two.
Okay.
And attacks.
Go ahead.
Man has weapon. Extremely dangerous.
Go.
Do not approach.
Oof. You have 5 points of astonishing fortune.
These guys aren't wearing the heavy crystal plate, right?
No, but they are wearing plate mail.
Oh shit. Nah, I won't use it.
Okay. So you swing. Then, Tom, you can take your action at the same time as Gorwin.
Okay, I'm going to hit the guy that Store tried to hit.
Okay.
Dropping my scabbard to one side.
Okay. Yep. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Oof. Okay. So then... Yeah, they have a shield, so they'll shield break. They shatter their shield. And then it is Gorwin's turn.
Lex spins around probably at that and goes...
Yeah, you hear it. Absolutely. And you can see what's going on, so you can take an action now if you like. Gorwin, after Gorwin. What are you doing, Gorwin?
So I pulled my bow out and got it ready, but I was looking over my shoulder at Lex to see if he noticed what happens.
Yeah, and you see Lex. Now you see what's going on. What are you doing?
Can I do like a half move or something?
Yep.
So, or like a combat move, like 4 spaces. Yeah. Okay.
Then it is the dwarf's turn. So the 2 that are on the bottom will attack Store, and then the other 2 on top will attack Tom. Store, your AC is a 0 right now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Lex nods to Gorwin, and
it's a miss.
Like if he was looking to him for
hit. Okay. That's 4 points of damage. DR will apply. Oh, hold on. What's the house rules on Warhammers? Did they ignore 1 or 2 points of DR?
Don't know.
I think Warhammers only ignore 1, but I don't remember if you've sent out the house rules with ignore DR stuff.
Oh, okay. So it's only 1. Yeah, then you take actually 3 points of damage, 1 point of your DR is ignored. And then 2 on Tom. Actually, one of those might be a hit. Tom, your AC is a 3 right now? I think we went through this yesterday. It is.
2. I've got a buckler, so that's the first attack.
We went through this yesterday. It's 4, and then with a buckler, it's a 3.
Like 4 and 3, yeah. But that's only the first attack, though.
Okay.
Hammers and picks ignore 2 points of DR.
2 points. Okay, so then, you take 3 points of damage then, Store. And Tom, you're hit with an axe. You take 4 points of damage. 1 point of DR is ignored. Then it is... it's still a first round, so no one has any iterative attacks. No one shot anyone. Gorwin, you were not shooting this round?
No, I was just looking for Lex.
Just looking for rounds. Okay.
I take it that dwarf at the bottom has moved up.
The dwarf at the bottom has moved up? What do you mean?
Well, 2 of them hit Store. There's only 1 of them in contact.
No, I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, you're seeing something different. They're both right. You're in the center. You're the center pip on a 5.
Yeah.
All right. It haven't updated on mine. Okay.
You might want to refresh.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just refresh then.
Sure. Okay, so then that's the end of the round. And let's see here. We will... so John, you're rolling initiative. John, would you please beat my 8?
Read it again.
Nice, very nice.
Buckrell's luck is with you guys.
Okay.
God, don't say that.
Well, we know he has horrible luck in melee combat, but otherwise he does fine.
Okay, hold on. The dwarves also shout out, "They're enemies of Hammerstone! Get them!"
He's lying, don't believe him.
No, Tom, I'm not.
Nope, I'm not either. Okay. And I'm just going to put some civilians on here. Oops, shit. What am I doing here? All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just putting some extra civvies down here to represent the crowd. Alrighty. So then, first up, I think is Lex, because I think you're on a 1.
Yeah.
Lex, go right ahead.
5, 10, 10. Lex is running.
Oh, nice. Yep. Come on. Okay, then it is Tom. What are you doing this round? Oh, I think Story, you're acting before him anyway. So, Mo, can you hear us?
Drink.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can. Yes. Yeah. So, Mo, what are you doing this round? Because we need to have your initiative. The roll for initiative was a 1. Okay, so then Tom, you're up next. What are you doing? Mo, if it helps, I can see your video.
Sorry.
Your video is quite stuttering, so I think you're getting a pretty bad quality internet connection right now. That might be why you're having some difficulty with the audio.
Yeah, hang on. Come on, you bastard.
Store, what are you doing? We'll come back to Tom in a moment.
I will attack, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Where the shit? Oh, there it is. I see. Sorry.
That's okay.
There we go. I lost my own window.
Oh, big hit.
Yay!
Big hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh, man. Crimson dwarven blood sprays over the ground, and you can hear the crowd around you scream out in horror. Ah!
Lex shouts, "They're half our speed. Run away. We can get."
Okay.
And then I'm gonna yell. That's what happened to those who follow Hammerstone. Throw off the yoke of tyranny.
Okay. Then it is.
Like, even though we don't have to kill him, that's still pretty awesome. Yeah.
Okay. Next is Gorwin. You doing, Gorwin?
All right, I'm gonna shoot at this one, and I'm gonna do the full -6 penalty to not hit a buddy.
Okay.
So I have very low odds of hitting, but nope.
No. Okay. Then it is Mo. Can you hear us again?
Yeah, you're really distorted. I'm going to hit the guy.
Okay, please do.
I killed one camera. That's slightly better. So I'm going to hit the guy that's between me and Store.
Please do.
This is preferred round, isn't it? So
Yeah, it is. But you only make your first round, first attack first.
where's my character sheet
I'm going to yell, "Get free, Thomas."
These dwarves seem to be running towards you. The rest are sort of holding back. Okay. Let's see. Tom, your attack's forthcoming here. Mo, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, very badly. I've just had to reload my character sheet.
Okay. Okay, so once your character sheet's up, please make an attack roll. I can make an attack roll for you, actually, which might be faster. There we go.
Oh,
Nice, natural 20. Worth waiting
Make
for.
some attack rolls for me, will you?
Go ahead and roll damage.
So that's what it's like. Kev rolls 20s on roll 20 and on his dice. Doesn't really matter.
No, I didn't roll that one. That was Mo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, he's breaking his shield. All right. Then it is, let's see here. What? You know what I'm just going to do? Hold on. I'm going to make them make saving throws to make their shield break. I've been trying to figure out how I was going to do this with the NPCs. I'm going to make him make breath weapon saves in order to do that, so he couldn't do that, and they're gone. I like the shield break rules, but if every NPC has them, then it means every NPC can ignore one hit, and that's not the purpose of those rules. Because the gnolls will be making extensive use of shields when you guys come to fight those. So, he could not use it. He is dead. So 2 dwarves are down. Then there's the 2 remaining dwarves there. They're screaming out, "Take them down! They're traitors! Assassins!" Tom.
Traitors and assassins?
2 hits.
Traitorous assassinous traitors.
We're not even from here. We can't be traitors.
So you take... Hey, quiet, you're in jail. So one of those, Tom, does not penetrate, but the other one you take 7 points of damage, ignoring 1 point of DR. So you should take 6 in total. Then it is... I think that's everyone for their first attacks. Store, you have a second attack if you like, and Tom has a second attack. And Lex, you're a fighter, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to hit the one.
No, I'm a ranger.
No, sorry, not Lex.
From my point of
Gorwin.
view.
Yeah, I'm a fighter.
Yeah, so Gorwin, you get your attack as well, or your second volley. So Tom, Store, Gorwin, go ahead and make your second attacks, guys. Tom, that's not good. Or Store, it's if you choose to. Are you choosing to go in there, Hobbs, or are you going to hang back?
No, I'm going to go around.
Go around, okay.
Okay, that seems to have cleaned up quite a bit.
Okay. So that, Gorman, that's a miss as well, too. All right, guys, so that's the end of round 2. Let's go into round 3. Johnny.
I got a question. Can I ask you a question, Kevin?
Of course, yeah.
Are these guys who are, like, drawing weapons, these are just regular people?
They're just regular, and they're actually not drawing weapons. They're running in. Like, they look like they're going to try and bury you to the ground. And it's only some of them. Like, some of them, it's a heavily armored, scary guy who just killed 2 dwarves. They're not willing to go in. But there's other ones who are... who do want to try and, like, do something. You're a bunch of murderers, as far as they're concerned. They are not armed, and they're not armored really either. It would be nothing to kill these guys.
If you're a murder hobo.
If you're a murder hobo, yeah. Okay. Then
slaughter the whole dwarven community on this side of the veil.
Yeah, exactly.
That will end everything for us.
I have good news and bad news, Dane Silverstream. The good news is you will not have a problem with the Hammerstones any longer.
The bad news is there's no more dwarves on the other side of the veil.
We nuke them from orbit.
Exactly. It's the only way. All right. So then, let's see here. That's round 3. John, would you kindly, let's see here, beat my 6?
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, fortunately, I'm not until 13 anyway. So I might
Lexa's
be...
like, run.
Is that better for you, Mo? Are you getting better audio now?
Yeah, it's suddenly cleared up. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it just suddenly stopped. I've been
Weird.
closing odd browser windows.
Okay. So then, looks like first up will be Store. Wait, Store, you're on a 6?
-6.
I'm at 10. Sorry.
Okay.
I have a -4 on this.
He's like super fast. Drank a potion of blur.
Which of you guys
I don't even know
cast haste when I
why I
wasn't
had it.
paying attention? All right, so first up will be Gorwin and Store on a 10.
Is that what you rolled? Was it 6?
I rolled a 6. That's probably why you got it in your head.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so then Lex, Gorwin, and Store, you guys are up first.
Lex is running back and he's shouting, let's just outrun them. We don't have to kill all the dwarves.
Okay. And then it is
It's
Tom.
16, right?
Oh,
We can move
13.
16
I'm on
first?
dwarves are on
Yeah, I'm
13.
gonna count this.
16, yeah, when you run, it's a 16 as long as you're not encumbered. We got 1 hit on you again, Tom. However, it's only 3 points of damage, 1 point of DR will apply, so you'll take a net of 2. Okay, and then, Tom, it's your turn. What are you doing? Oh, hold on, these guys actually, I think these guys can charge in now. Yeah, so they're like, get him! Get him! Get him! They're going to take penalties to their attacks, but I got 3 of them who are going to try and grapple with you. Fucking 19 and 18 and a 16. I'm really sorry, Tom. Holy shit. Fortunately, they are
in the dungeon.
They are commoners, so the amount that they roll for control points is quite low. So you have that going for you. Why are D4s always the hardest to fucking find? Jeepers.
Because they're good for caltrops.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. They're really good at hiding. All right, so you get. Let's see here. That's 4. So it's 7 CP. What you can do, Tom, is roll 3d20, and then we'll just interpret from there. Let's see how you throw off these guys, because you automatically get a reaction trying to throw the initial grabs off.
Okay. 3d20.
Yeah.
I get a bonus to my strength.
We'll add the bonuses afterwards. I just want to see if you rolled anywhere near good enough first. Okay, so 3, no way. The 7 probably succeeds because these guys have a very low grapple DC. So go ahead and give us 2d10 plus 2d10 plus what's your strength bonus to damage? Is it plus 3?
Damage is 3.
Damage is 3. Okay, so 1d10 plus 3, please.
1d10.
Yeah, that's your hit points, your hit dice rather. Sorry, 2d10, 2d10 plus 3. So 11. I think with the plus 3 modifier, you're already strong enough. So one of these dwarven commoners has got his hands on you. You are grabbed. You cannot move until you escape the grab. So I'm just going to put a green bar on you to reflect your control points here. You have a maximum of your hit points of 33. So like you got quite a ways to go until you're actually borne down to the ground. Okay, so I think everyone can see that green bar now. Yep. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So then, Tom, your turn. What are you doing?
Well, I was going to try and make a combat move to the north, hitting one of the dwarves as I go past.
Okay.
Can I still move? You
can't
break
move.
The grapple.
Yeah, you have to break the grapple first.
Okay, so
it'll be it'll be super easy for you. What you roll is 1d20, so you're level 5, which means your Thaco is a 16. You get plus 4, plus 1 from your strength, so you got 1d20 plus 5.
Let's go. We need an 11.
Yep, and roll 1d10 plus 3. Actually, I mean, you got a plus 3. You're enough to shake yourself through. So as these dwarven commoners are in there, they're trying to grab you. You shake yourself loose from the one. That does get rid of your... you're not grappled any longer, and go ahead and make your combat move. You can't make your attack now, but you can move for free.
That would just be a...
it's half your combat move, so it'll be
15,
4.
20.
Yes.
Yeah, so to there.
Okay. All right, well, I got 2 attacks of opportunity on you. Let's see. Oh, nope, both of them miss. One of them skitters across your chain, or your plate mail. That is the end of round 3. Guys, we're on round 4. See if you can get away.
Let's win.
Come on, Johnny. Oh shit! Beat my 1.
Oh,
No problem.
Come on.
Oh,
Did you roll a 10?
Double tens.
I rolled double 1s and double 10s. I mean,
Oh god. All of
Gravy
these
again.
guys are coming over to try and take down Tom.
Shit.
Come on, I'm just gonna make those rolls and I'll get the grapples done. Now I rolled insanely well for that first round of grapples though, so like this miss this time. Then 2 attacks, both miss. So these things are still on you. I think that maybe these guys are emboldened a little bit. They're starting to move forward. Get them, yeah! Then the rest of you guys. Okay, so Tom, you're the one, I guess, who's going to take the attacks of opportunity here.
Yeah, because I'm running flat out.
Oh, you're running.
There you go.
So there you go. So
Yeah,
you're,
I need to get away from these guys.
Yep. So your AC is now a 5. That is 1 hit. Take another 7 points of damage. 1 point of DR is ignored. And then these shits. But none of the commoners are able to get a hand on you. Go ahead and make your move, your full run. So you can move 16 squares. Now, tell me about what your plans are to try and get lost here, guys. Or is that what you're doing? You're trying to lose your pursuers in through like a dark alley or something?
Yeah, we'll have to do some meandering to try and lose them because we don't want to lead them right to where we want to talk.
Yeah. So, let's do this. There's actually a... where is it here? There's a version of chase rules in... I can't remember if it's the PHB or if it's in the DMG.
Lex will probably lead because he's the one who's been foraying into the dwarven area the most. Although this is not used to this. This is a new area, isn't it?
It is, but, you know, again, like, the one thing you can count on is the standardization of dwarven design. You're like, no, there'll be something behind here, so I'll give you a bonus for that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's do this. Are you guys forcing your way through? Are you guys trying to outpace them? Or are you trying to be clever by, like parkouring off of shit?
Even if we're not trying to outpace them, we'll outrun them eventually. So I think we'll have to go with the second option. We'll just try to go around things.
Okay. So
What
what
option you mean?
the
Sorry?
the parkouring option?
Yeah, like we're not going to try and smash through people's...
Awesome. Then here's what I need from you guys. Why don't you all give me... let's see here. All give me dexterity checks, please.
That works for me.
I've failed insanely badly with these, so long as... Oh, no.
I have an 18 dex. Come on,
Lex.
buddy.
But we've got Astonishing Fortune. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Wait to
Astonishing
see.
Fortune if you want to. Gorwin succeeds.
Barely.
Yeah. No, that means it's really awesome.
that's
Remember,
a-
Price is Right
That's
style.
all.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an awesome success. So I will have to re-roll because
Okay.
I can't be the only one that's not. Assuming Tom also. Yeah.
Lex, good. Okay. And then, Tom, you... so you can't roll from the character sheet. You'll just have to roll less than your... whatever your dexterity score is.
I'll take a stumbling success over,
Yeah.
you know, tripping on a crate and face planting into a wall.
Okay. Mo, are you making that roll for us? 19.
No.
Okay. Do you want to... now,
Yes.
now, do you...
AF that.
Yeah, Astonishing Fortune, please do. Please do.
A 9, good.
Okay. 9, excellent. So, what do we see as you guys make your way through here? How do you take advantage of your height and your nimbleness to throw off your pursuers?
Well, Gorwin's totally showing off. Like we're just like scrambling around crates and barrels and around buildings and walls. And Gorwin, like, you know, does the like jump and run and push off of a wall and like wall running and shit. Yeah, I'm sure that's happening.
Store runs past an awning and cuts off a shelf, and so like a bunch of watermelons or I don't know, big mushrooms come toppling down to block the way.
Okay.
Sorry, Arwen. I shouldn't be saying what your character does. That's not.
That was great. That's precisely. Gorwin is,
Yeah.
This is his element, unlike fighting, which is what he's supposed to be good at.
So after some clever, maneuvering, you guys reach a point where some of the buildings go up, some of the buildings go down. You wind your way through those into a back alley, and then find a place to basically hide out while the rest of them go by. You've successfully lost that patrol. Now, however, at least the two that survived. Do you guys want to wait for the heat to go down? Do you want to? This is probably not a great place to do that because someone could come out and see you at any point. Do you want to try and make your way to the Von Bin's place just quietly, or do you want to retreat and try and figure out a different approach, or try the same approach at a different time? What are you guys thinking?
So we've moved into like a housing area.
It's pretty close. You're within, from the directions that were given to Lex, you're like maybe 10 minutes away. So you're
yeah.
And the advantage of these...
we should go, but maybe take a roundabout way quietly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll regain our bearings and direction, and then try to make it to Von Bin's.
How long do you wait? Do you go right away? Because I guess there's two ways of thinking about this. One is they're all agitated right now and they're all looking for us. But the other thing is, they haven't had time to organize a proper search.
Yeah.
So which way are you thinking?
In Assassin's Creed, they always say, "Let the heat die down."
Same with when you're playing thief, you're like, we gotta let the little medallion get lighter. So it's
true, but this is not a video game, so slowly. You guys there's advantages and disadvantages to both approaches, right? So
yeah, I think even if we can go to Von Bin sooner than later.
If it doesn't matter, pick one. So which is it?
Let's go straight to Von Bin's.
Straight to Von Bin's. You got it. Okay. So then, let's see. Who's going to take the lead on... Lex, you're probably the sneakiest of all here, right?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
have that, been out in the Dwarven area wandering for
Give
days.
us another move silently check, and I'll give you a plus 10% to that. Yeah, we'll take our mid-session break in a second here, too. Nice. So, Lex, you realize that things are quite important here now. This is quite dangerous. This is critical that you guys get to Von Bin. So you lead everyone along, the rest of the party along, in an absolutely silent procession. You guys go from corner to shadow. We see that it's the, Lex, you're about to step out of the alleyway. You stop everyone from stepping out, and then you see a patrol of dwarves go running by, and then you're like, go, and run to the other side. This carries on until you reach the outside of the Ruby Eye estate. How do you guys plan on getting into the Ruby Eye estate? Is you going to ask to speak to Von Bin, or are you going to sneak in?
I think we need to not be seen going into Von Bin's, because we don't want to make him look like that he's we want to get him in trouble. So we'll have to sneak into Von Bin's and then ask for
So once you're
forgiveness instead of permission.
Once you get past the walls outside, I think then it's very easy to find his these estates are not sprawling I say mansions in the sense that they're 2-3-story affairs as opposed to the 1-story buildings that most dwarves would live in. These are not Versailles here. So you make your way into the tell me how you're going to make yourself known to the people in the building. You can probably see him in the building, so if what you want to do is just show up at the front door and introduce yourself to him, you can do that, or you could...
Yeah, let's just be direct so we can get in quickly and get out of sight.
So we'll knock on the door, and then we will take our mid-session break here, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, folks, and then we will see what happens. I think we're going to turn our attention to Falcarel and see what's been going on with him. So, back in a moment, folks.
Okay.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. Let's check in with chat here. Howdy, 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 everyone. Let's see here. Oh, boy. Fred, what's shaking? Brian, good morning. Just finished Friday night game. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, the ally with the bugbears. Friday night's night below session was pretty fucking neat. Ice King, what's shaking? Cast Magic Missile, absolutely. Oh, cool. You got to get. Yeah, there's been quite a bit that's happened over the last couple of sessions, Ice King. It's going to be interesting to get caught up on that. Especially the last session, this session, too. William, what's shaking? Happy Sunday to you, too. I know this Dave J. Fortier and Jason Hobbs are. Cameron, howdy, howdy.
Bunch of yahoos. You should probably ban them from the site.
Yeah, Sean's been part of the audience today. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. It's always tricky when something like this happens, right? Where you end up having the party split just by virtue of what happened in the campaign. Since Hobbs isn't going to be part of the scene anyway, let's just jump back into the session. So, Falco, we'll come back to. You heard to that moment where to be honest, you've lost track of how many days have passed because it's just an unending, source, or not a source, but unending sequence of you being dragged out and then Paldron being dragged out and brutalized more. And when you have been, let's see here. I'm trying to think if there is any. I think they've applied healing potions when necessary. If you've been brought to the point of death, we're not going to make you roll another, mortal wounds check here because you've. Oh, did we roll for you last time? I don't think we did.
No.
Let's see what the hell is going on here. Okay, so what is your constitution?
15.
15, pretty good. Okay, so
Minus
it's
3.
5 plus 1 plus 2. Minus 2, so it's 0. Oof. So it's a 1d20 roll, please, and then a 1d6. Oh no!
Yeah, probably astonishing fortune that.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to re-roll with your astonishing fortune. Okay. 18. Okay, so you were, and then the d6.
Oh yeah.
Roll. Holy shit. So one of the results, if you rolled 1, you're the bloody mess that was once your body is dimly recognizable.
Sorry.
Well, that couldn't have happened because.
No, that didn't happen, so that's good. You've got more minor scarring.
Yay, astonishing fortune. 2
minor scarrings for me.
Okay, so once you hit 3, then it'll be an actual notable scar. So, the time when Adric first speaks to you it's not clear how long that's been, how much time has passed, but what you can hear is his voice, and he introduced himself as Adric, Blessed of Dumathoin. So what do you say? And I think your eyes finally adjust now that the torchlight is gone. And do half-elves have dark vision or infravision?
Check, I believe I wrote it down.
Can't remember if you do or not.
I do have infravision at 60 feet.
Okay, so half-elves do have it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then...
Yeah, I asked him... He said, Adric, Blessed of Dumathoin?
So this is what he looks like. It doesn't have any tools or stuff on his belt, but he's filthy, and he's not really dressed. He's dressed similar to what you guys are, and you can see his arms are shackled to the wall as well.
Okay, so I look over at him and say, so what are you in for? Assassin and traitor stuff as well?
Oh no, I'm no traitor. What I'm in for is a secret.
Keeping a secret?
He just grins at you.
I shrug.
Why are you here, Falcarel?
We were hoping to make peace, but apparently you can't reason with paranoid, crazy people.
Peace with whom?
Well, we're trying to convince Barrick to get along with his friends across the chasm there.
You came at the request of the Silver Streams.
Yes.
You didn't go above. You went below.
That's correct. There was a snowstorm and what we thought was a dragon. We thought to avoid it.
So you thought. You followed Dumathoin's way.
Okay.
The pass. If you followed the way under, how did you navigate it? With one of ours? Or did you follow with one of our secrets?
We had a map.
He grins again. And where did that map come from, Falcarel, falcon friend?
Falcarel just clears his throat and says, I don't believe I introduced myself to you, Adric.
He just grins.
You know my name.
Where did you find the map, Falcarel, falcon friend?
Yeah, I haven't told them anything, and I don't trust you, so I will tell you nothing.
Oh. You wish to keep your secrets. Secrets only have value, Falcarel, when they're traded.
Indeed.
So, how did you find your way?
Are you offering a secret in return?
How did you find your way?
Falcarel just stares at him and doesn't say anything.
So be it. We cut away from Falcarel. So, the rest of you guys, you have made your way up to the, what do you call it, to the door. Lex, you are taking point on this?
I guess.
Okay. So, you knock on the door. The door is answered, and it's, at first, you can hear inside this, who's there? Who could possibly be here? And the door opens, and it looks like it's a servant, but behind them is a fairly old-looking dwarf who is bouncing himself on or walking with a cane, but it looks like he doesn't need the cane to sort of hold himself up. He needs the cane just to sort of support himself. Sorry, Hobbs, the only thing you missed is we did a scene with Falcarel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Falcarel is dead. Yeah, no,
Okay.
It was, yep. If you want to hear the gruesome detail of his hemp being split open, I mean,
Well,
feel free to rewatch, or the guys on the Gamerhood could fill you in. Falcarel did not make a new friend. The guy who answers looks like this guy's. There's a servant who answers the door, and behind him is this guy. He doesn't need... It looks like the cane is about, 50% affectation and 50% necessary, like a contingency. He still moves quite well. Yeah. But he opens he looks at the lot of you and says, "And who are you? What are you doing in the Ruby Eye estate? We were not welcome. You were not admitted."
Lex goes, apologies for the intrusion. We need to speak to Von Bin Ruby Eye. It's of the utmost importance.
You are speaking to Von Bin Ruby Eye. And who might you be? You see another dwarf comes in from another room. He looks like this, guys. You can see the illustration doesn't do a great job because it's two different illustrators, but there is a family resemblance between the two.
Okay. Lex is nods. Again, our apologies. We came to the Dwarven Valley, the hope of getting Dwarven assistance for a greater problem in the world, and it seems that the dwarves are split, which you already know. I overheard in the marketplace that you had not thrown your lot in with those chucking the black ice around, and maybe you'd be able to help.
The younger dwarf steps forward and says, "Father, they're accusing you of being a traitor. Throw them out! Capture them! Hammerstone will reward us richly!" And Von Bin puts his hands up and quiet.
Lex kind of...
Who sent you here? This is Von Bin asking. Who sent you here?
Dane Silverstream asked us to find a way to reunite the dwarves.
Come inside.
Thank
It's
you.
best not to be speaking that name in this part of the valley. Come in, all of you.
Les.
Hurry. And Von Bin sort of walks forward. As you guys all come inside, Von Bin speaks to the servant, who then sort of goes off. As you guys are coming in, you will learn, and Von Bin will introduce his son, Trevok Ruby Eye. Trevok is really not pleased with you guys being in here, but he is deferring to his father. Von Bin brings you into sort of a like a common room or like a study kind of thing. There's lots of big comfy chairs built really sized for dwarves, but you guys can all get yourselves down. Tell me quickly, what precisely did Silverstream? I've heard tales come from that side of the valley that they've been bedeviled by the dead themselves.
Well, we helped take care of that problem for them, so...
How did you do that?
There was a necromancer.
I'd say you're not full elf, are you?
Nay. My father was human.
Aye. Then, Lex, what? You took care of that, and it was a necromancer.
Indeed. Before we go too far, this is Gorwin, Thomas, and Storr.
Kessel has returned.
Or so he
Kessel.
says.
And you hear Trevok say, "Ha! What nonsense is this? Such yarn as this is more of the nonsense from the Silverstreams, father." And Von Bin shoots him a look. Yeah,
Storr also gives him a hard look and said, "We had dealt with his minions ourselves, walking through the minds of endless restless dead. Do not tell me what I have and have not seen. It is true."
Trevok is suitably chastened, and Von Bin sort of looks over with appreciation, like, yeah, that's... thanks. Fucking kids. So he, Von Bin says, "So, you were agents of the Silverstreams."
As I mentioned when we first came in, we're here to help the dwarves as a whole. And this division right now is keeping the dwarves from, participating in problems that are bigger than what's going on in the valley.
Oh. How long have you been in the valley, then?
Not long.
Were you there? Did you come through Bryn Shander?
We did come through Bryn Shander. The Yeti attack, whisperings of a white witch.
A white witch?
Greater snow storms than is seen in many a decade.
Aye, indeed.
Dire wolves attacking armed men.
And did you hear the 10 towns have a new high speaker?
That happened after we left. We left, was it 3 days before the elections, or?
We hear the news we've heard. The Hammerstone has an ally said to have the ear of the new speaker, a witch named Anna, and she seems to be pouring whatever plans and making the Hammerstone think that all the 10 towns are turned against him, while at the same time encouraging him to bring that black stone of his out to the communities on Lac Dinashir.
Yesterday, a few days back, when we tried to talk to Beric Hammerstone and reason with him, his nephew, our companion, Kola Hammerstone, was slain along with one of our other companions, Falcarel. And
he leans forward and he says he killed his own nephew.
We saw him fall, but we fled, so we can only assume that he's perished. We didn't stick around to find out. But he was being influenced by what was that store? What was the Luskan woman?
Baka,
and she's some I can't remember you mentioned the clan or the
Ship Rethnor.
So there's definitely influence affecting Beric Hammerstone. And our experience with the dwarves wearing the black ice is that it's got some kind of a mind control or charm to it.
I knew. You see, like, as you're describing this, his brow is furrowing more and more. So I said Anna before I meant Baka. I forgot. I fucked up her name.
Okay.
Baka is who she's been talking, or who Von Ben's been talking about.
Anna
Banana, yeah, exactly. I'm thinking of my dog. Anna, she's the real monster.
So, well, we have nothing against dwarves. We do need to get Barrack Hammerstone to think like he normally would. We think that black ice armor that he's wearing, plus the black ice shields and weapons and amulets that his troops are all wearing, is affecting their ability to reason like normal dwarves, and thus splitting the alliance and that the dwarves would normally have with the silver streams.
Trevok is sort of looking at his, having been chastened by Storr, is just sort of waiting to see what his father's reaction is, but you can see that he really, really wants to try and like say something and just be like, this is nonsense. But Von Bin seems deep in thought. He's got both hands, he's sitting down, both hands are on his staff, and he's staring kind of down at a table in the center of the room. He looks back at you. Oh, go ahead, Storr.
I was going to ask, did you say who the new speaker in Bryn Shander is?
Indeed. The new word we've heard, the Duvessa Shane is out. And the new speaker.
Wasn't it that merchant?
I want to see.
Valish Gant.
Like Baka, the whisperer in Barrack's ear, Gant is from Luskin and Ship Rethorn.
Really? I'm not sure you guys know that one way or the other.
I believe
you suspect it, yeah. But
well,
I'm not sure you've had.
I'm putting it forth. I'm putting it forth like I know it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I mean,
that would make
they were using,
and they were using Slim, who is from Rethorn. So
I don't know if you got proof that he used Slim either.
Well, we got the letter or whatever, right?
The letter.
Slim had the letter. Yeah, Slim was holding a letter that was.
But it didn't have fake Galis.
No, the letter had a wizard's sigil on it. I'm not sure you. Valish Gant,
yeah,
as far
but
as you know,
I've just decided that's the case regardless.
Okay. Just so you know, so there isn't any evidence of that. You guys do not have proof of that.
Yeah, we're not in court though. I don't need evidence.
No, but I mean, like the NPCs will. So it's important to not confuse what you're assuming is the case with what your characters actually know. So I just want to make sure there's no confusion on that. So then Von Bin looks and says, all of those matters would align then. What you say, that Luskin, we trade from well beyond the valley, our kind, and we rely on that as well, bringing our goods not only through to Bryn Shander, but bringing it beyond. The Ruby Eyes have long traveled beyond the reaches of this valley. So we know Luskin's greed and their desire for our lands, the riches of our valley and the riches of the lakes. Hammerstone, you must understand, Hammerstone was a miner. 2 months ago, he was nor did he display any inkling of seizing power. Von Bin, Barrack suddenly found this, and the riches that came from it. He has managed to outfit a near army.
Did Lex ever share his dream of where the crystal came from?
That was
Cola.
Oh, Cola. Dang
right.
It. Yeah, but we don't know that.
So we don't know that.
So this would be like the ice plate he's wearing.
The plate that the crystal, the ice, the black ice, that he uses for his thugs and for himself. He's not said where it's come from.
He did have a very big palace guard.
Sorry?
He did have a big palace guard, and I'm assuming the dwarves didn't have like the
Indeed.
elite.
No.
They didn't have elite.
He spent all his coin outfitting his army. But his army, what you saw, they all hide in there. Power he may have, but he seems terrified to lose it by use of it. That's why we've had no blood with Silverstream. He and his kind grow richer and more powerful with the threat of what they might do, as opposed to what they'll actually do. Though, the way his mind seems to be going, it seems only a matter of time before blood will be spilled with those black ice weapons. Dwarven blood.
The reason we learned your name is I overheard merchants saying that you refused at the cost of your house to transport this black ice.
Indeed.
Do you know where it's coming from, or?
In spite of what some others, and he kind of shoots a hard look at Trevok, some others may have wanted, I have learned in my many years, you stay with what keeps you wealthy. You don't chase a new thing. And this new thing seems to have taken most attention. Though, as you say, the early winter, it makes it very challenging to have any caravans out. And the few that are willing to go, they transport baubles made of this black ice out to Lac Dinashir and towards Bryn Shandar. What do you propose then? What did the Dane tell you to do?
The Dane didn't really have
He wants peace.
Yes.
I don't know if there's peace to be made as long as Hammerstone's mind is as it is.
We need to stop the flow of black ice, or whoever's controlling it is controlling Hammerstone and the rest.
Hammerstone is the master of the black ice, though if this necromancer appeared at the same time, and you're saying Kessel is back, I'm old enough to remember the time of the Crystal Tower. If this is a harbinger of what's to come, we cannot let that evil spread here. He is not found. There are some who claim that the plague of undeath that bedeviled those on the western slopes were a marking or a sign from the gods, a favor for our side. I saw no such thing. And if you say that this black ice has the perfidious effect that it does, how can that not also be linked to that necromancer, claiming himself to be Akar Kessel returned?
When we defeated Kessel's largest minion, some what was it? A lurker? Or cloaker?
A cloaker, yeah.
A cloaker. He stopped taunting us and mentioned that he had allies. So we're not sure if that's
allies. This white witch.
This witch from Luskan, perhaps.
This witch is from Luskan.
Oh no, not the white witch. I'm referring to the
Baka.
Baka, the Whisperer.
The wizard.
Yeah.
You know what? So one thing, Hobbs, is it actually might be a fair conclusion for your character to make that it's a wizard, because the Arcane Brotherhood really, like, they're the ones who dominate Luskan anyway. So it's wizards that sort of run the ships anyway. So that's a reasonable conclusion to think that, look, someone's got to fucking do this, and if this guy's Valish Gant may not be the first person who presents as something other than a wizard outside. So that is a reasonable conclusion that Storr could have reached, and could be like I've got enough evidence that I know from my experience with the people in Luskan. So I take it back. That's a reasonable, even without evidence of that. Your past experience with the Arcane Brotherhood may suggest that, yeah, this is par for the fucking course with these guys. So
we came here looking to see if you could help us with supplies. We need to find a solution, and we are trapped on this side of the valley with no allies.
What? You're abandoning the task that your the Dane set you to then?
No, we just need to find a way to regroup and retask.
Vonbin sort of leans forward and he's sort of hunched over, leaning on his staff, and he's looking down as if like he's uncomfortable saying this, but coming to the realization that this is what needs to be said, that there will be no peace on this side of the valley as long as Beric Hammerstone lives. And Trevok says, "Father, treason you speak of." And he says, "Quiet, boy." I take that the Dane considered that this sickness may need to be cut from our side of the valley.
Yes, perhaps. Perhaps at the root, though. It would be a terrible thing to have to slay Hammerstone and all his followers, anyone who's thrown in with the black ice. We need the dwarves. We need the dwarves for the greater purpose.
Do you think if Hammerstone falls, the influence on the others will end?
If that's the source, perhaps.
Hammerstone and Baka.
Yeah, if someone's controlling Hammerstone, if it's Baka, then perhaps both.
We were given the option. We were invited by the Dane to join them on the far side of the valley. But we decided that things were not dire enough to require that. I now feel that though that may have been an error on my part, perhaps the Keeper of Secrets had some greater role for me. And you can see that as he twists his hand around, on one of the rings, there is the holy symbol of Dumathoin.
That looks familiar. Does that look like the symbol on the maps and the
Definitely
temple that you went into store? You went with Cola, didn't you?
I did.
You found your way.
From the other side of the valley through a map that was in Dumathoin's chamber or part of the temple?
I think it was the library we raided.
If the Keeper of Secrets is sharing his secrets with you, he has a design. It is no surprise that you find yourselves at my door, nor that you have come to my home seeking help.
If only there was a way to... the Keeper of Secrets could get us directly to Beric without having to fight through 50 dwarves.
Oh, if indeed. Tell me, why have you come here? Why bleed yourself? Why risk your lives for a folk that are not your own?
Part of it was to help our companion Kola see his mother, and part of it was our commitment to the Dane to unify the dwarves so that we could have the dwarves join the 10 towns and perhaps the Rhaegar tribesmen against the rising of the White Witch.
My friend speaks in circles. The truth of it is we're all outcasts from our own lands. And we have come here to the edge of the world to make our way. And there is no way if there is no 10 towns, if Bryn Shander falls, if the Valley of the Dwarves falls. So we've made it our own goals to make sure it survives this time of troubles. And then perhaps we'll have a place we could call our own.
True.
Very well said.
Then, we may have. It's no surprise that few among the priesthood have allied themselves with Hammerstone. The gods of the Forge do not take well to usurpers, particularly those with jumped-up money. I have an ally, a fellow devotee, who allowed himself to be captured, who hides within the dungeons of the rumored to be impregnable dungeons of the Dwarven Thanes. That rumor is not true. You say that you would go in. I am old and fat, and I am no longer fit to wield an axe. But I have power in other ways, influence and money. And he looks over at Trevok. He says, sadly, my shortcomings translate to my offspring as well. But if you are willing to take up arms against Beric Hammerstone and free our valley from this for the betterment of us and your wider dale, I will throw my power and my money behind you. We can get you in. But can you slay Hammerstone?
If I don't have to slay 50 dwarves to get to him,
I'd sure like another shot at him.
we can do it for Cola and for Falkrill.
I think we can also ensure that you will have a more fair fight this time. Now, many of those who are loyal to Dane Silverstream have made their way to the other side of the valley, though there are some here who will still fight for the freedom of our valley, and others who simply will fight for coin. I can supply extras with you.
Excellent.
Then,
Question though.
of course,
You've made your money as merchants. You've stayed with the goods that your family has long sold. This black ice becomes useless, obsolete, maybe even outlawed. All of your competitors who've thrown their lot in with the black ice, they would probably stand to lose a fair bit, and thus your tradition would show that it's the right way, correct?
you may appear a warrior. You got the mind of a merchant, though.
He looks over at Trevok. You may be wiser than your son recognizes, Lord.
Trevok is his face flushes. He's really not pleased with how he's coming across in this conversation. And you can see as well too, like it's transparent on his face how upset he is with what his father is saying and doing and whatnot.
Yeah, he should probably be locked in his room for the next couple of weeks.
The rest of there are still servants around as well too, but the servants are all sort of stone-faced. They seem to if you're trying to judge a reaction from them, you get nothing from them. You can picture like Victorian British house servants kind of thing. Like they're like furniture. So the only ones who are really feeling off their emotion clearly are Von Bin and Trevok.
We have a ram. We have a pack ram named Alehead, who is where we were hiding out for the last few days. We're wondering if you can send someone to go and collect him, or maybe not bring him here.
He kind of looks at you and says, "Kiri, how curious. You're proposing assaulting a dwarven stronghold, yet you concern yourself and wish for the well-being of a ram. The care for animals of your people is not exaggerated, Lex."
Well, it's important to me as it is important to the land, but My companions are also probably be excited about the 4 kegs or 5 kegs of Dane Silverstream's finest ale that's strapped to the back of said ram.
Indeed, a mind like a merchant.
Perhaps a celebration after we're done.
Then, do you guys have any other things you want to talk to Von Bin about or ask Von Bin about?
Do we want to discuss the details of the plan, or does he already have something?
Yeah, I mean, we can drop out of what we can do is like it would be a cutscene sort of heist planning thing that we would do the planning for the actual assault. That way, I can just tell you guys. But if you have anything else you want to ask him in this scene, otherwise, he does open his home to you, and then we can start talking about if there is anything else. You guys speak up now.
No.
No.
I'm
Okay.
going to ask him about his son. Go ahead, Mo.
Well, effectively, we're dealing with a snake with two heads here. Is we really need to take out his advisor and the usurper, if we're going to call him that.
Yes.
You should take care, though. Hammerstone is a dwarven problem. If Baka does have the support of the High Speaker of the 10 Towns, they speak with great authority and great power.
Who is the speaker now? Who won the election?
Valish Gant.
Ah. Well, we've had dealings with people from her group before, and it turned out he was a fairly unpleasant wererat who we dealt with, and I will just slowly unsheathe the first bit of the silver longsword and sort of smile.
I fear you're not listening. You're not hearing, sir. I don't doubt your difficulty, the ability to destroy Baka. The consequence of doing so is the concern. If what you say, you may not appreciate not being from here, the speaker has the voice of all the 10 towns, and the authority that comes with that. If you kill one of the agents of the 10 towns, particularly openly, you may make an enemy of the most powerful man in all the Icewind Dale.
I'll sort of give a right grin. I think he already is our enemy, but I take your point. But, you know, if they go out into this non-normal community, who knows what happened? They could fall down a mine shaft. Terrible at what non-natives make mistakes with. And I shall give a fairly evil grin.
Okay.
I mean, do you think there's going to be many people? Do you think there are sympathizers among the dwarves with these people?
Without doubt.
Some of Hammerstone's people, yes.
Without doubt. Of course, there's money to be made. That's why they threw in with Gant's kin and claimed the rest as assassins and spies. There are others who are happy to go along with that story. But you think it not weird that we claim all the 10 towns and the folk from there are assassins and spies, yet ally ourselves with the new High Speaker? Those are problems beyond the Dale. My concerns are within. I would, though, caution you to make an easy, make a name for yourself with a new enemy when you still have at least 2 standing before you. Store, did you have a question as well?
I was just going to ask him if he's concerned about his son's loyalty as far as it goes, and I'll basically ask the Von Bin, but be looking at Travik.
Okay, the Trevok hops up when you ask that and says, "This is too much, Father. He questions my loyalty and my duty to you," and he draws his dagger and starts advancing. And Von Bin says, Hold, Trevok, hold." And he's about maybe 5 feet away from you when he stops. And he's just like, if he had the ability to murder you at this point, he would, Store. And Von Bin
just grins at him.
He could try.
Von Bin looks at you, Store, and says, gestures to the front, says, "A word." And he staggers up and walks out again. He doesn't really need the cane, but you can see like it's his ear, maybe it's his ears that are finally getting to him, you know. So he steps into more of a private chamber, or maybe outside into the yard, and he stops and he says, "You must understand two things. Dwarves, I'm sure with your people, dwarves have many qualities like our home that run deep and immutable. Pride and honor of clan and kin are one of those things. My son, I say, in private, has many failings. But for you to openly insult him is an insult to him, to me, and to all of those who bore my name now deep in the ground."
I understand, but I also was mostly concerned with you. I believe that we will survive this, but if it came out that you were involved and we did not succeed, then the repercussions on you would be great, Master Ruby Eye. I would not let someone who gave us aid come to that sort of fall.
I
felt there was an elephant in the room. It was there, and I had to speak of it. I did not mean to insult anyone, but I wanted to know where Travic loyalty lies.
You've come in my home, and before his father and all of his ancestors who lived in these halls called him a traitor. Honor means more to our people than gold, and I trust you know what gold might mean. Store, you need make recompense for this. Not for my son, for me, for my name, and for all of those who still watch this place. He turns and he walks back inside, leaving you to ponder, consider, and then, yeah. So you can see while he's gone, Gorwyn, Tom, and Lex, do you guys do anything? Trevok just gets up and helps himself to a drink, does not offer to any of you guys. He goes and sits back down, and he's got that sort of puffy, haughtiness of, a child of money who didn't have to work for that money. No?
No.
All right.
Okay. So then Von Bin comes and sits back down, and he waits for Store to come back in.
So Store will stand. You'd see an image of him standing there, head bowed for a time as he considers and slowly nods at the wise Von Bin's words. And then he strides purposely back in, much of his characteristic humor and cheer, facade gone, and just solemnity, his facade, his demeanor now. And he goes directly to Trevok and says, I do not know all of your ways, Trevok, but honor and loyalty is something I understand. Please accept this gift. And he'll pull out the silvered longsword that he got in Bryn Shander. This killed a weir rat in Bryn Shander, and I believe you should be the rightful owner of it. And please accept it as an apology, going against your name, the name of your father, and all of the ruby eyes that came before.
So he kind of, Von Bin has a little twinkle in his eye of pride, and you think you see his mustache twitch a bit as the kind of the corner of his mouth goes up. But Trevok, we don't need to delve into it too much, but he takes it with as much insufferable smarm as you could expect. Like, of course it is. This is something it's not something he earned or deserves whatsoever, but he acts as if of course you did, you fucking peasant. And he says, picks it up and looks at it and says, not dwarven craftsmanship, of course, but your apology is accepted. And he casts the longsword aside on the couch as if it was something worthless, and then sits back down. Vonvin says, well then, enough chat. We have business to talk. So let's cut back to Falcarel in the this is another day of torture. This time you've nodded off. You can't tell day from night at this point, and you can hear from across the what do you call it, the prison cell. You're awake, Falcarel. No need to hide it. I can tell.
What is it you want, Adric?
You know what I want, Falcarel.
Have I noticed that do the guards interact with this guy at all?
Oh yeah, he's taken out and beaten, not as regularly as you guys are, but because they're actually actively interrogating. Actually, I don't think they do. He's just in here to die, you know.
So does he look like he's been wasting away?
Oh yeah, like he's filthy. His beard's all matted, like it is in the thing there. And it doesn't necessarily have it's more the messiness and the general sort of scarring and whatnot on this illustration. That's more what I think how it reflects Adric.
Okay.
He doesn't have that belt of equipment and stuff on him, obviously.
Trying to figure out if Falcarel will open up to this guy or not. I mean, is Paldronor conscious, or is he?
Paldronor's out being questioned.
Falcarel will look over at Adric and size him up again. He says, "You worship Dumathane?"
You know what? Give me a what do you call it? Would you give me a what do you call it? Yeah, I did say Hobbs. I saw your thing in chat, Anna. Clearly my brain is about 80% dog and then 20% gaming. Here we go. Yeah, give me a religion check, please. I think you've got the religion proficiency, right?
Do I?
Or did you squander it on other stuff?
I think I squandered it.
No, my God!
I do have it, actually.
Okay. Then you're fucked.
There we go. I did.
Okay.
I succeeded.
Nice, and not bad roll, too. So, here's what you know is, because, and I think maybe this is when you were chatting with Paldronor or some of the others, when they proposed going down to the Temple of Dumathoin. Dumathoin is the Keeper of Secrets under the mountain, the Silent Keeper, and the Mountain Shield. Let's see here. He is effectively watches over safety and security, but also keeps things secret. This is what his sigil is like, incidentally.
Okay. Like a diamond in a mountain?
Yeah.
Or gem? Okay.
He is a neutral power as well, too. So he can have followers who would be the deceptive, trickery kind of types, but they also may be those who, not only those who violate secrets and try to, obtain them, it's also those who keep them and protect them.
It's not helping me trust them, though.
Yeah, so where this guy fits in that scheme is difficult.
So Falcarel, he'll just sigh heavily, kind of lean in.
No, sorry, he's neutral. The church, though, this is what you would know. The church, lawful good, lawful neutral, or true neutral.
Okay,
so they aren't evil.
So it's like a pantheon then, right?
Yep. Because he's definitely allied with, there's other ones like Laduguar, like Erdlin, Abathor, who are evil dwarven deities. Those who worship either are worshipped by fallen dwarves or those who have fallen in with cults.
Ah. Well, if that comes to Falcarel, he'll just sigh and lean into the manacles and just rest for a moment, and then he says, "I'll give you what you want, Adric, but you have to swear something to me first."
Oh. And what's that, Falcarel, Falcon friend?
If you are a worshipper of Dumathane, your word and your oaths to your deity hold sway over what you do. Swear to me to Dumathane that you're not here to trade a secret I'd give you to those who would use it against us.
That depends what your secret is, Falcarel. Why were you here? I know that one, and he gestures to where Paldronor was. That one was sworn to the Silver Streams. Why are you here? And how did you get here?
Falcarel flicks his eyes to the door and listens for a moment to see if he hears the guards, and then looks back to Adric, and he says, "We were working for the Silver Streams. We brought Kola, Beric's nephew, here to try to mend the rift that divides them, and yet Beric is tainted or corrupted by the black ice that he wears. We followed the path of Dumathane, a map we got from his temple, and Kola is a priest of Dumathane, and he led us here."
You've shared a secret, Falcarel Falcon friend. And I will share one as well. And he leans in. I knew that. And he shakes his hands, and the manacles fall off. He gets himself up. He's able to stand up quite comfortably in here. Oh, this is... Oh, that's much better. Oh. So you came here to try and take down Hammerstone at the behest of the Silver Streams.
Not exactly.
What did you come here for then?
We came to bring peace back to the valley, and if taking out Beric is the only way, I'm not saying that wasn't an option, but we came to bring peace.
Peace then.
There's a greater threat out in the Icewind Dales that requires the Dwarven's assistance.
Indeed. Then, you didn't do a terribly good job of your task if you find yourself here now, Falcarel.
There were extenuous circumstances.
Indeed. Tell
Didn't
me.
have the right opportunity.
And he's up. This is the first time you've seen him move too. He's up and is sort of like pacing around. He walks to the door and kind of listens, out as he's listening. Tell me, Falcarel, do you wish to stay here, or should we go and see what remains of your friends?
Well, I never liked the dark, damp places. I like the sky and the open air above me.
Your kind never knew to appreciate the quality of the deep, dark places. Then, we will wait for your friend, and then we will go. So we'll cut away from that back to the rest of you guys. And what...
Falcarel will ask him something?
Of course, yeah.
He was like, do you have something... I'm not without power, but without my holy symbol, I can be of more use. Is there a way we can regain my items?
I don't know where your... Well, if they did not smash or destroy them, I don't know where they'd be. But I can get us out. And to allies.
Well, until I see the light of day and open sky above me, consider me an ally.
So be it. Dumathoin's not concerned about what happens above the ground anyway. You keep that to yourself.
Falcarel will crack a grin at him.
So he goes back, he stretches once or twice more, goes down, and then kind of puts his manacles back on and goes back to sitting. And you can hear him humming something, probably a hymn of some kind. You can't really make it. Well, yeah, you might be able to make out a couple of words of it because you do speak Dwarven, right?
I'm halfway through learning it, so.
Halfway. You can assume you did. You know what? You're, again, like with the new house rules, I'm letting you guys pre-spend half of those points anyway, so.
Okay.
So let's cut back to Von Bin, Treyvalk, and the rest. What's the plan here, guys? What Von Bin can come up with for you is he can outfit 20 Dwarven kind of like ruffians with you. There'll be caravan guards / ruffians. You can equip them with studded leather, a chainmail if necessary, but chainmail is going to be a little louder if you're planning on sneaking, and they will follow your sort of follow along with whatever your plan is, so long as it's not suicidal, and not using them as cannon fodder.
What do you? I've been thinking about it. What do you guys think about having them actually storm the royal chambers, so the guard is drawn away from Barrack, and then if we have a secret path, we can get into the dungeon, free Paldronor and our friends if they're still alive.
So again, they're not willing to be used as cannon fodder.
No, I don't want them to. I think that they'll like block off the thing, but there'll be like a threat there that they have to do as some sort of distraction. Yeah, I don't want any of them to die.
No,
I
because
just want them to draw them out.
The enemies, the people that are supporting, or the soldiers that are supporting Hammerstone, like they're not necessarily all better skilled or better trained. It's that they're all wearing plate and they've all got these deadly fucking black ice weapons.
And they're not exactly thinking straight, so they might go straight to attack and kill.
They do seem to be, they're not stupid necessarily, but definitely, the longer they're wearing these things, the more madding they are. What they can do is the secrets of Doomthoin can get you into like the prison. They can get you into the barracks. They can get you into the grand hall, or they can get you into the sort of royal chambers as well, or like the apartments. I guess they would be called the royal apartments.
What
are we
about
going
this?
for
Go ahead, Mike.
a decapitation strike? You just go straight for him.
Yes.
In that case, we can use our associates here almost to act as a screen while we pile in and try and take him out.
He will likely be, even in his quarters, you can likely expect he's going to have a guard. Whatever effect the black ice has had on him, it's also, sorry, we should be saying this in Von Ben's accent, but it's, the black ice has affected his mind.
He's super paranoid.
Indeed.
Well, the other way would maybe to have some of these ruffians do a distraction to try and pull guards out of the palace. And the other thing that struck me,
well, that's what Storr suggested, but again, Von Ben will not see these dwarves be used as cannon fodder. They're brave and will serve, but they will be cut down like wheat.
I didn't mean in that they go and fight. They create a disturbance, put some barricades up, fake a sort of a revolutionary rising.
You have 20 men.
They send the guards out, and then they disappear back into the population.
You have 20 men.
All right.
What about this? They go into the barracks, cause a ruckus, and flee. Then that will draw those the guards there away. We go into the bedchambers and deal with the rest of the guards and Barrack.
Yeah. One other thought I had was, could we get someone to sneak in and put something in their food?
No poison here.
Just give them really bad
I think
diarrhea.
Arlen has played a dwarf for about 7 months in the other one. How's your save versus poison?
Pretty good.
True. I hadn't thought of that. Or just
Arlen, you're muted.
Sorry?
I was saying Arlen's muted.
I'm pretty sure for Beargor, he has to roll a 6 or higher to save versus poison.
Yeah. Well, could we just get them really, really drunk?
Again, it's a poison save.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Well, then
I think maybe try and draw them away, but don't actually engage in any real sense. If they're in studded leather armor, they can effectively, presumably, withdraw faster.
Well, I think that's what Hobbs just suggested too. Right? Let's try and make sure we're not suggesting the same plans that have already been.
Guys, good similar plan. We should.
I think it's good.
Yep.
Okay. So then let's what are we thinking here then? You guys, you're gonna have, because you do have access to those to the sort of secret ways. If you've got once the Von Bin's ally from Dumathoin joins them, you'll be able to have access to the secret kind of ways behind the those chambers. So you could have them spill out into the barracks, cause a bunch of trouble, and then just disappear back in again.
That's my thought, because then maybe the guards will be distracted, which was the whole plan all around.
Yep.
And they won't necessarily have to kill their own possible kinsmen or cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can go another path straight to the head of the snake.
Okay. Now, you also have not, you've not judged Trevok's character incorrectly, and it's not unfair for you guys to be thinking in a metagame narrative too, that, we've all read fiction with a traitorous shitbag kid.
Who's going to report us as first chance he gets and take some reward.
So, and your characters live in this,
I have no idea.
this world too. So what, if you, I'm not saying that Trevok is necessarily going to do that, but I mean, that it is not unreasonable for your characters to be bearing that in mind.
Well, we need a plan B if it all goes pear-shaped.
Yeah, well, Store is going to just kill whatever he needs to in that plan B. But as far as Trevok goes, he is going to actually
Thomas
go
was thinking, maybe we should fake some documents to sort of incriminate him.
I wouldn't want to be a part of that.
If you do, we've got these documents here that say you were in on the plan and try. But
does anyone have
we need to have a?
Does anyone have forgery?
Pear-shaped. We have a.
Does anyone have forgery?
No.
Okay. So,
no, but I do have tracking.
What if we write it in rope? I have rope use. Can we do that?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like I said, as far as Store is concerned, he is going to treat Trevok just like he would Vinban now, and trust him. And if he falls through, then that's on Vinban and the other dwarves, not on us. Von Bin, yeah.
Yeah.
Vinban,
Okay.
Von Bin.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Gorwin's been
I think
pretty
it really goes
contemplative
pear-shaped.
through all this too. So what's Gorwin thinking of these developments?
So Gorwin is definitely still. So he's concerned about the sun because it's right. Store was. He didn't think Store was right to call him out like he did, but that's it's a little concerning that he doesn't seem to. Well, and especially that dwarves are such a clannish people, and it's so weird that he doesn't seem to have more respect for his dad. He's also not just in general not super interested in killing very many or hopefully no dwarves, because like I said, dwarves are like people. They're
okay.
So he's kind of he's gonna go along with stuff, but I'm thinking he might is there a way that we could capture Barrick and use that to get his guard to surrender or something?
We do have, just on a metagame thing, we do have a pretty, what do you call it? A pretty badass set of grappling rules that we've been using now. So, I mean, if that is a viable option to just try and wrestle the guy to the ground, if you guys so choose. He is kind of a badass with a lot of magic shit on him. So
dangerous, but thinking about, and that might be also a way to, at least force him to come to a negotiation table instead of, if we kill Barrick and the black ice is still coming in, wouldn't somebody else, right? Barrick was just a miner who happened to
that's awesome.
who happened to find the black ice. Wouldn't somebody else just effect a takeover from one of the guardsmen or something like that if Barrick gets just decapitate the snake versus try to figure out some way to use our position to force him to come to terms with the silver streams?
It is curious again that he's the one that seemed to lead this whole seizure of power kind of thing, usurping it and saying like, let's make, we can do more. The dwarves should have more power in the valley and whatnot stuff. From everything that Cola told you about his uncle's a miner. Like he's never had ambition beyond just being a miner and trying to be successful at that.
Yep.
Maybe he doesn't have to be killed. Maybe, like you said, we can bear him down, get the black ice off him, destroy whatever is affecting him, and have him renounce his, ascension, and send the dwarves that were following him back to whatever they were doing prior.
And Hobbs makes a comment about Baka in the chat too. But I mean, what do you want him to be doing with her? If you want to send an unambiguous message of "fuck you, we're your opponent" to Vaelish Gant and his people, there's no surefire, less certain way than killing her and making it known that you guys killed her. If she just disappears, then that's something else. That may be there may be a message sent there as well, or you keep her alive for whatever reason to maybe do that with Gant.
One thing I think is. How do we know that Baka doesn't have a replacement lined up in the case that either Beric Hammerstone starts suddenly gains a conscience, or becomes just too unruly, or isn't quite as amenable? She could quite easily polish him off and replace him with a pliant cousin of Cola's, maybe?
What Von Ben tells you is that she actually, she's only been here for about 3 weeks. So it was after the black ice was discovered, after the black ice started, started coming in. There may be some truth to that she's maybe behind this. There's some connection there, but to his to all appearances, she may just be more of an opportunist.
Yeah. I mean, if she just disappears, it's a dwarven civil war. People disappear in civil wars.
And if she, if she did arrive here 3 weeks ago as well, that's before the election.
Yeah, well, they could have people out in loads of places acting as agents.
They could have anything, and we can only plot so far. We're arrows. You can only point us in a direction, and then whatever happens after that.
Yeah. Okay. So then it sounds like I guess the things that you maybe want to get on the same page with before the actual fight is whether you're taking Beric alive and whether you're taking Baka alive, or at least whether there's the possibility of doing those two things.
I think we try to take them alive, and if we do our best.
Yeah,
so does that mean
like Thanos? Well, tough breaks.
Does that mean that
I want to get healed first, please?
Yeah. Does that mean that we're trying to? Because the only way to take him alive is probably to take out his guards first. So then we're just going to kill them, or. You know what I'm saying?
I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah, okay. So then,
if we can get him at sword point and just say, tell your guys to put their swords down, otherwise it's curtains for you.
Okay.
Whether that would happen,
like he's going along.
Black Ice is sufficiently powerful that his guards would just say, "Sod it, we're not dealing with hostage takers," and just pile in.
Again, if the black ice takes away their normal thinking,
don't know how strong that black ice effect is. On the people who've been affected.
We have to be willing to understand.
They might not be rational like a normal guard. They might just say, the black ice rules and just charge in.
He might say the same thing.
How does he know their battle cry? Black ice rules!
He might not care.
I could remind us when we first came across the black ice with those 3 dwarves the dwarves at the guard gate, we took the black ice off of one of them, and it didn't change his attitude at all immediately. So,
yeah, but that was immediately.
Yeah. Well, I presume it would take time.
Yeah.
For the effect to dissipate.
So
Dave,
we'll see what the situation allows. If we can get him, bear him down, and I don't know, take his armor off.
Okay.
You don't know what powers the black eyes. If there's some mystical force.
You do know it's magic.
Try and disable that. That's a bit.
You know that there's a magical aura around it that Grim told you about, but as for what the source of that aura is, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we haven't got any magic users that could try and suppress the aura. Because that would be one way of trying to. I'd imagine not.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately.
2 fighters.
Yeah.
And a ranger.
3 fighters, I think. You guys got right now 3 fighters.
I forgot myself.
Yeah.
3 fighters and 2 rangers.
Okay, so let's we'll cut back to the cell that has Falcarel in it. The door, the light, once again, the torchlight comes. Adric has seemingly nodded off at this point. The cell is opened up again, and the 2 jailers bring in Paldranor, toss him against the wall again. His moan is even getting more pathetic than what it was before. They shackle him up to the wall, turn and walk out, leaving you behind, Falcarel. And as they're going out, it's this sort of like, so you want to eat here, or you want to go up try and find something? I'm sick of eating this salted beef. And the door shuts, locks up, and the light goes away, leaving you once again in blackness. And you hear kind of a whistle from the far side of the cell, Falcarel.
Look over.
It's Adric, and he's rubbing his wrist, having the thing off. He says, "Time to go then."
Alrighty.
So he gets up and he whispers something that unlocks the chains or the shackles holding Adric in place, and he helps him up. He says, "Come, son. Come, brother." And he leans him against the wall, walks over to you, and says, he whispers something in Dwarvish that is, you can tell that it's got some like resonant quality to it, because you speak those same prayers yourself sometimes, and your shackles release on you as well. And he says, "I hear your kind is quiet. Be doubly quiet." He walks up to the door, and he once again repeats one more time that same prayer, and you're, and the door slides open. He steps out first, looks one way, looks another, looks back in the thing, and says, "Help him. Come."
Yeah. Falcarel will walk over and help Paldranor to get to his feet.
Okay, both of you guys are still at 1 hit point at this point. He brings you along, like there's a line of cells, and you can hear moans from all, from within each of these. Adric gets to the end, or to the end of the hallway, and let's think here, he goes up the stairs a bit, and then there's a bend in the stairs that goes up a different way. Actually, I think he goes under the stairs, so they go up and then they go around. He goes under the stairs. He reaches, kind of reaches around underneath the stairs where the stones are, and then hits a point, and you hear a, and the door opens up. And he looks back and says, "It takes real skill to hide something like this from our kind." And the door opens up, and for yourself, I can't remember, do elves have that, or half-elves have that same detect secret doors on a better...
Secret or concealed doors.
Yeah, you're shocked. This thing it's insane how hard, like, you would never have spotted this.
Gotcha.
So it's got to be some kind of special magic or something that is augmenting this, because dwarves, at a glance can notice something strange or hinky about stone. This opens up, and you guys go in. You quickly lose track of, as you say, like you're really not comfortable underground, and the winding, twisting, corridors that this takes you through leaves you completely sort of lost. And Paldranor, as much as he's trying to help, you trying to stay up and not help you, or not rest on you, the longer you walk, the more difficult it is for him. But you finally reach a point where it spills out into, or you meet up with a couple of other passages that seem to run elsewhere throughout this complex, until you're finally led out into an alleyway. He gets out, and he walks over to the back of one of these shops, and again, this looks like the prefab sort of shops that you've seen as well. He knocks on the back of the first one outside of this secret door. When the door closes behind you as well, it is completely invisible on the wall. You can't see it whatsoever. Knocks on the door is answered, there's some words that are exchanged, and then you guys are ushered inside. we next cut to see you traveling through the streets. Adric is cleaned up. He's not wearing the raiments of his order, but he is just dressed like a normal, what do you call it, a driver of, or like a, what's the word I'm looking for here? Someone who drives the livestock. Wagoneer? Drover? Yeah, I don't know. So what he is he's on a cart with a bunch of, tarps on the back, under which is Falcaril and Paldranor, and he's driving this ram cart up towards, through the underground areas, or through the passages of the Dwarven settlement, until it finally arrives at the gates of the Ruby Eye estate. The carts are led in, and where do we think everyone is when Falcaril and Paldranor are brought inside?
Sipping whiskey and smoking cigars.
Kicking back.
Sharpening our swords.
Okay. So you guys are
scouring rust.
Yeah, like I think that the study has been turned over. They brought a big heavy table in, so the study's been turned over into kind of a makeshift, like barracks or a way to sort of get everything ready. And there's a knock at the door. Everyone kind of looks at each other in a kind of a panicked way. Stor, you and Gorwin, you immediately sort of look around like, where's Trevok? You walk to the door. The door turns, and that's where we'll the handle turns, and that's where we'll end our session.
Oh, see, that's great. The one group is like headed towards a door, and we think it's the same door, but maybe it's not.
George, I hope I'm doing you proud with our cinematic techniques here. Cross-cutting, baby. All right. So then, guys, we will end our session there. Let's give some XP out, because there was some dynamite role-playing by all involved here. Let's see here. Homs, just for yourself, I'm going to give you another 100 XP just for dealing with the situation with Trevok and Vonbin. That was a great job of giving us some insight into how Stor was struggling with, like, fuck this kid, but there's a bigger threat here, so that was really, really good. In fact, I'm gonna, on top of that, everybody gets an extra 100 points of XP just for great role-playing today. And let's talk about what you actually did. So you did defeat 4 guards and some minions. You made some new allies as well, too, it looks like, and possible enemies. Who knows? Who knows?
I had just the one success on Ranger skill?
Just the one, yes. So you get 100 points for that. I don't think anyone else used... in terms of adversaries, you guys defeated 8 hit dice worth of creatures. So if you're from a warrior class, and even though you weren't there, Falcaril, you can get that bonus as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We'll spread it equally around.
It's gonna be a long time till I level up, so I'm like, meh.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I thought a few people were quite close. I mean, I've just gone over to 5th, so it's going to be wages.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
I'm
just
very
hit.
close.
But I think there were some people who were nearly 5th. Stor, maybe.
Yes. I don't know if I'll get enough though from this. Maybe.
Okay, where's my phone? Here we go.
I'm actually quite happy with the level of my character at the moment.
Okay.
The fact that you didn't
too
have,
many hit points.
you didn't have to re-roll.
Yeah.
Oh, did you roll quite poorly for yours last time?
No, mine were really good.
Oh, okay.
No,
Dave?
Yeah, you got something like a 9 out of 10, didn't you?
No, I was making a point that Jonathan's happy with his level 4 character and the fact that he didn't have to re-roll a first level character after last session.
Yes.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, guys. So you guys are each walking away with 240. 240.
How many astonishing fortune did we have?
2 left over.
Oh, 2 left over. Hold on. Then that's actually that'd be 260. 260. Here we go.
Well, I'm into 17,000 and change. Okay. Well.
So you need
the next one is
a little
like,
bit more. Yeah. Pretty
32,
awesome.
I think.
Okay, great. So for those, cue the Mission Impossible music. Damn straight. All right, so then for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 16 of our Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign. This was a lot of fun today, guys. This was yesterday was fun with that crazy big fight as well too, but the role-playing stuff today was pretty awesome. As always is the case for those listening at home, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session or the campaign or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of this video, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. You can also reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, and you can reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the session, be sure to click on like, so it helps us with the whatever magic algorithm stuff. As well, if you don't want to miss the next session, click on subscribe and the bell icon down here, I think, there, to set your notification for when we go live. You can also find later today, I'll be posting a schedule for next week on the community tab of the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel, and I'll be posting that on Twitter, and I'll be posting that on the Dungeon Musings Discord server. So you can have many ways of keeping track of all the very cool games that we are running on the channel, at least for this coming week. In addition, we have a link in the description of this video to the, so I mentioned the Dungeon Musings Discord, links to our Patreon, to our Redbubble store, where you can find, not from this campaign necessarily, because this is a pre-made adventure, but we have lots of cool art and maps from the other campaign, and the sales from Redbubble, the patrons we have on Patreon, and the ad revenue we get from the channel. All of that is helping us outfit our players with some very cool accessories, particularly the copies of the Player's Handbook for 2nd edition. So we currently have, there are 6 copies that are already in the mail, or have been out, or 4 copies that have been out so far. We're well on our way. A huge thank you to the viewers and the supporters on Patreon, the people who purchase stuff from the Redbubble store, for helping us. Say a big thank you to the players who play in these games. So that is going to be pretty cool once we get the last batch of those out. In addition, if you're listening to us on Mr. Hobbs' Gamerhood, be sure to click on follow so you do not miss any of Hobbs' awesome games, including the ones where he's actually running them, as well as his epic Kalmata campaign, where you can see a lot of friendly faces from these campaigns playing in those games too. I would ask you consider clicking or subscribing to him to help Hobbs creating his awesome gaming content as well. Hobbs has many, 3 podcasts right now. Mr. Hobbs' Gamerhood, Hex Talk, and Random Screed, as well as a bunch of other cool stuff. So you can find Hobbs on the Discord server, as well as the... Which other Discord do you use now, Hobbs? I can't remember. Is there Mr.
Audio Dungeon Discord?
There you go. Bingo. So there's another place you can find a lot of great folks who are playing old school games like AD&D 2nd edition. Speaking of my players, last but not least, I want to give an enormous thank you to the outstanding role-playing and what a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon, guys. So a big thanks to Mo, Arlen, Hobbs, John, and Dave. Thanks so much for playing today, guys. I can't wait to see what you guys do next week. We will be back next week on Sunday, and same time as this one, and we will see what happens. Oh, I guess we'll have to see what happened to Cola while all of this was going on. All right. Yeah. So until then, once again, thank you so much to those who have been listening live or at other points. If you're listening to this contemporaneous to our recording, I hope that this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. And until we see you again,